Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TruuuTalk podcast. This is season 2. Milan, what episode is it?
9.
Episode 9. Now, for those of you that caught the show last week, right, you'd have seen at the beginning, we said, Milan, what episode is it? And Milan got it all wrong. Bearing in mind, right, we actually discussed it 30 seconds prior, all right? But anyway, we're back. Season 2, episode what, Milan?
9.
Right, good. Now, as always, first of all, we are joined by the TruuuTalk podcast First Lady, Miss Chitty. Miss Chitty, Chitty, bang, bang.
Peace, love, light, mama stay.
Namaste. And all that. A man who needs no introduction, Mr. TruuuTalk himself, Mr. Ashley.
Show.
Show. Our very own banter bringer, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock.
Hey.
The one who doesn't know what episode we're on. Our favourite girl from the small islands, looking like LL Cool J, Miss Cher.
What's up?
My real life cousin in real life. Speaking of my real life cousin in real life, as Chitty would say, we actually joined a special guest who is actually my real life cousin in real life, Miss Shiv.
Hi.
Round of applause for Shiv.
She's so cute, man. How can she be your cousin if she's so cute like that? What's wrong with you, Stick?
We've only been live like 1 minute and 33 seconds, and yet we're starting on me. Yeah, it's all good though. I'm coming for you. Don't worry. And of course, it's tradition. Myself, DJ Sticky Fingers.
The one and only.
Apparently, but my cousin wouldn't agree. So anyway, we won't even go there. Now, for those that are new to our show, if you don't really know, we do 2 topics, right? We have our serious topic. We've also got Ask Millie, and we got our fun topic. Now, this week's serious topic is it hard to find a decent black man?
1,000%, yes.
And our fun topic is, would you go raving with your parents? Pause. I'll let you think about that. Now, to put a bit of context on the first topic, right, the reason why I've got my cousin here, Shiv, is because it's actually a conversation that Shiv and myself and another cousin of ours was having, but the other cousin said she was washing her hair today, so she couldn't join the live. Some any dead excuse, all right? Anyway, my cousins were talking, my cousins were saying that it's hard to find a decent black man. So, Shiv, over to you. What's your thoughts on where did this all come from? And just tell us a bit more about it.
I think, so the conversation started we were talking about us as black women. And for me, it was more about being a black woman who is just black. I don't have long hair down to my bum. I don't have a straight nose. I don't have anything that I guess would be more European features. I'm a black woman with thick 4C hair, a broad nose, and I have all the black features. And I think being like that, I have noticed that we're limited with the amount of black men we want to date, because I think a lot of our black men won't even look at women like us. And I guess that's what my experience has been. So is it hard to find a black man as a black woman? Yeah.
Okay, that's as simple. Let's go to one of our black women and see what your thoughts. Let's go to Miss Millie, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock. Do you agree? Do you share the same views as Shiv?
I mean, why would you come to me second? Wait, so the question again?
The question is it hard to find a decent black man?
Yes. Because didn't really think of this one. No, I think it is because I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily because they're black. I just think people don't really know what they want. And I say that because if you ask someone what they want, the things that they say, I don't know, are normally like that aesthetics or whatever the word is. Do you know what I mean? And nobody really thinks about like emotions and stuff. So I feel like when looking for any guy, you get with a guy because you think you have that instant connection. He drives a nice car, he looks nice, he's got his trim, and then you actually realise once talking to them for a bit or whatever, they're just not all there. Do you know what I mean? I mean, not mentally. That sounds really rude. I just mean you don't connect really. But on the topic of black men, I mean, I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask.
All right, I'll put you on the spot then. Hold on. I can see what I'm going to go to in a second.
You got to put some context to that. You got to put some context to that, Sticks.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh, yeah,
no, don't put context to it. Just
put
move
context
on.
to it. Shiv, I'm going to put context to this, right? The reason why Milan is the wrong person to ask, because Milan has already clearly stated she does not do dark-skinned guys, okay? She says she only does light-skinned guys, and Ash is right. I don't know why I went to Milan first, because she was the wrong person to ask. I'm gonna go Chids and I'm gonna go Ash. But before I do, we get some of his messages. Empress says, "Evening, guys. About time." And I think there's a few question marks in there. Everyone's just laughing. I'm not entirely sure why. But anyway, let's go to Chids first, and we're gonna go to Ash. Right. So Chids, I know when it was in introduction, you agreed in regards to what Shiv was saying about the context about it's difficult to find a decent black man. Why? What's your views? Why so?
From my perspective, I mean, in regard to what Shiv said about it being like about aesthetically the way a black woman looks and stuff, I think that's true to a height for some black men, because I've had conversations with black men and they say they don't like black women with broad noses, and do you get me, like just a black woman's features. That's to me, that's a mad statement to make. Like, what colour's your mum, mate? Like, how wide is your mum's nose? But I think for me, I would talk about it in regards to like sort of the level of maturity, like emotional maturity and healing. Unfortunately, sometimes I feel like if you're an evolved black woman, you automatically attract unhealed black men. Do you get me? And I mean, in a sense, they don't really know what they want. They're not really emotionally available. And they can't cater to the black woman. The black woman is God, isn't it? Like all women are sort of center of the universe anyway. But the black woman she's the most sort of like underrated like entity on in the universe, isn't it? Really, we're so underrated, and I just think black men don't know how to treat us. They don't know how to cater to us, and it's so simple. But I just think the black men are lacking, and by the time they are able to, you know, make a decision, or not even make a decision, but by the time that they're evolved enough and healed enough to be with the black woman, the black woman's done with them. Do you get me? They've either gone and found white men, or they're just like, they've moved on with a different, like somebody from a different culture who is evolved and who is ready for the black woman. I just feel like there's just so many unhealed black men on the planet. It's quite sad, really. And they wait until they're older to kind of grow, like, I mean older, to grow up, really, and to sort of be in touch with themselves. So I'm talking about it in terms of just evolving emotionally and spiritually and those kind of things, really. It's mad. It's kind of sad though, really.
I hear you there. I'm gonna ask you a question on that. Before I do, DJ Empress says, I think my internet's playing up, can't join tonight. Says keeps cutting out, but she wants to know if it's me, if it's my fault. I can tell you now it's not my fault. Brina says exactly Chids. Peely85 says yes, Chids. Brina says again, yes, Chids. And Felicity Ethnic has joined the group now. Felicity is my other cousin who was talking about this, who's apparently washing her hair tonight, okay? Just so you know, all right? So I'm going to ask you both, Shiv and Chidi, I'm going to ask you both what you were saying there. So what is it about the black woman's features why there was an issue or seemed to be an issue with black men? I know Shiv mentioned about faulty hair, and Chiz, I know you mentioned about broad noses. And what is it about the black woman's features as to why you feel that you can't find a decent black man? What is it specifically? Or is it something specifically?
I just, me personally, I've never had a problem aesthetically, like with black men. They seem to like my features, innit? Like, don't care about my nose and my lips and those kind of things. I don't know. I've never personally had that, but I've had conversations with black men who will openly say that they don't date black women because of those reasons. And it's just like, to me, it's just weird because, like, what colour is your mum? Like, what type of hair has your mum got? And the one guy that I had the conversation with, his mum had 4C hair, the biggest nose going. Do you get me? Like, and I just thought, mate, like, you're just hating on your own, innit? So he just said he wanted to come away from that because he didn't like his mum's features. So I just said, again, another unhealed black man. Like, do you get me? You didn't have a good relationship with your mum, so now you're using the relationship with your mum to define what you're attracted to. So you're not attracted to black women who've got broad noses and who've got 4C hair because your mum's got a broad nose and 4C hair and you don't like your mum. Like, so it's, to me, it's to do with trauma, and it's just about healing, innit, from certain things. You can't realistically just look at a black woman and say, I'm not attracted to you because you've got a broad nose, or I'm not attracted to you because you haven't got long flowy hair down your back. Are you mad? That's crazy. I don't know. It's weird.
All right, fair enough. Ash, I mean, what's your views? Obviously, we're in the dark. I think there's not much we can really say, I suppose. But I mean, what's your views? I don't want to get in no trouble. I don't want any one of us to get into trouble tonight, all right? So, but what's your views on this one?
All right, so my views don't necessarily, they're not necessarily a rebuttal to what you guys are, yeah. But it's like looking at it through a different perspective. So I'm not taking away what you guys are saying, because there definitely is people who talk like that, who think like that. I've seen it, I've heard it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna act like it doesn't exist. But what I will say is that obviously we're debating, so we're using blanket terms. So we're saying black men, yeah. But there's lots of different types of people, in it. Like all black men are not the same. Like there's different types of people that come from different walks of life, behave in different ways. So for me, it's more about the type of man that you're looking for, or the type of man that you've been around, or the type of man that you interact with. Because a lot of the black men from my background or from where I'm from, maybe that might make sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe that might be a fair thing to say. But I would say, like, there's lots of black men that I know that are married to black women, like my uncles or whatever. There's lots of black men that I know that are married to black women, that love black women, have black children. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That particular point doesn't fit. So when we say black men, I think we've got to be more specific. I don't know how we're going to generalize it, but I think we've got to be more specific with a certain type of black man. Do you get me? Because I know a good amount of men that have always been good men, but to me, what I've always seen is that the good guys, black, white, whatever, are always overlooked. A lot of good black men don't get no airtime. They don't get no chance to get. No guy don't want them. The same way that you might feel black men are turning their noses up to black women who have certain features. Black women will turn their nose away from black men who move a certain way, or don't have a certain masculinity, or don't have a certain level of aggression, or don't have a certain level of street wiseness, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, it's the same difference. So you're not attracted to that because he's not black enough, or he's not hood enough, or he's not tough enough, or masculine enough. Because those men don't get the same. They're not in the same playing field as someone who's a bit more street, or someone who used to do road that's transitioned, or a man that's not necessarily a good man off the bat. Because black women tend to go for men that ain't that great. Do you get me? And that's just from my observation. Whether it's, you get me, well, a certain generation, obviously after our nans and that, our mums was doing a mad thing. That you're not going for the good guy. You get me? I've even seen it. You get me? I don't want to go too personal into my thing, but I've seen it where it's like you have an option of someone who's a good guy. Might not be the best in terms of all of that other stuff. Aesthetically, he's not that cool. He's not that smooth. He don't talk that good. He's not that tough. He's not that. You get me? You got that guy there, but you're not even preying him. You get me? But then you got this guy treats you like a dickhead. You don't really care. You get me? All of these things, but you're focused on him. But this guy, you get me, don't get the same kind of energy. So I think it's more about going for the right kind of people rather than wanting people that don't suit us to suit us. You get me?
There's definitely a lot of stuff in there. Shiv, I'm going to come to you to challenge that, because I see the look in your face. But before I do, right, I'm going to go over to Shiv, because I can see the look on Shiv's face like, I'm coming for you, Ash. So, Ash, we're both going to get it in a minute, right? I'm just going to put a warning out there. But before I do, I'm going to come over to Shiv. But before I come to you, Shiv, DJ Empress says, welcome back, Chids. Brina says, very true, actually. Carl says, who's them smoke alarm? So I think some of my smoke alarm's going off in the background in a minute. thingamajig. DJ Empress says that's true, clapping hands as well. And by the way, Carl Ball should be joining us, but for the last month or so, since Carl's birthday, he's forgotten who we are. But anyway, it's a whole other story, all right? Shem, what's your views on this?
So I think in general, it's just hard to find good people in general. To me personally, that's what I think. But I do think with a lot of Black men, because they've been through so much, they have a lot of trauma and stuff that they haven't dealt with, and they don't really know the best way to deal with it. You know, being Black and being a man, they don't know the best way to deal with it. So I feel a lot of the time they will turn that trauma into something destructive, if that makes any sense. And yeah, I just think that's probably the main reason why it is hard to find a Black man, a good Black man, sorry, not a Black man. But yeah, I just think there's so much that has gone on in history and everything, do you know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of Black guys that I know or even have dated, all of them have trauma. Like, all of them have some deep kind of trauma. So, you know, a lot of them don't deal with it how they should. So, yeah, I just think it just comes out in a different outlet instead. So, yeah.
But my challenge to that, though, is if that is the case, then the argument, I suppose, would be slightly different, or the narrative would be different, because the narrative would be, why can't we find a decent man? But I think it's more to do with why is it that Black men are going for non-Black women? So I think if that was the case, they wouldn't be going for any woman, I suppose. They wouldn't be going for Black or any other race or, you know, aesthetically looking person. But I think more specifically why they're not going for Black women, as Chidi and Shiv said, with 4C hair and broad noses and, you know, I don't know whatever else that, you know, women have. But yeah. Shiv, I'm going to come to you on that one, because I know I said when Ash was talking, I could see the look in your face that you meant to fight us both, right? But again, Ash and I are good guys, okay? Just going to throw that out there, right? So before you start, and before you even give your opinion, before you even say anything, just want to let you know, Carl says, right? Carl Ball's in Australia, by the way, for those who don't know, right? And Carl says, Carl is on a weird time zone, and I'm working so much on my hair product line to be booked to be bothered. Oh, too booked to be bothered. All right, see that guy doesn't care about us anymore. He says, I'll be back, I promise. So guys, Carl will be back soon when he remembers who we are and remembers the code for the Zoom, all right? So just throwing that out there. But Shiv, talk to us.
So I want to go back to my first point, because I know I spoke about aesthetics, but that was just part of a bigger thing. What I think is overall for Black women is the pool of Black men. If you specifically want to date Black men, I think the pool is very small, because I think we're the only race, I think I could say this, that as a woman of the same race, you can walk into, say, a club, or I can walk into a room of Black men, and my first question can be, does he even date girls like me? And I don't think a white person has those kind of thoughts. I don't think a Chinese person, I don't think any other race as a woman has to walk in and go, do those guys even date women like me? That's even before, do they find me attractive? That's even before, do I connect with them? So I think the pool for men that would even look at you and find you attractive initially before any kind of relationship is really, really small. I think that's part of the problem, first thing. And second thing, to Ashley's point, me personally, I've never wanted a thug or a bad guy. That's never appealed to me. And even in that, I've still struggled to find decent Black men, because again, me walking into the room, everybody's not going to like me. But I think if I'm specifically trying to date Black, then who does like me gets even tinier. And then the older you get, there could be like somebody who's already in a relationship, somebody who's, you know, married, somebody who has, it gets so small and small and small. And also what I was saying to Siki a few weeks ago is I found as I've moved up in my career, let's just say when I went to university, as I've gone to certain jobs, the amount of Black men that are around me has become smaller, and the amount of Black men around me that date women like me is sometimes non-existent.
Well, I don't know what to say to that one, boy. Brina says so true, talking about what Shiv was saying there. I mean, who wants to challenge that one? Because I don't want to touch that one, to be fair. I'm leaving that one. Chiz, I'm coming to you because I think Chiz is going to be the best person to speak on that one. Leave me out of it, right? In fact, Chiz, before you do, hold on. Brina said, when I decided to go back to my natural hair at that time, my first concern was that a lot less black men would find me attractive.
Wow.
That's a natural hair.
That's sad. That's so bad. That's actually bad that a black woman has to think that way. And this is one of the things that's wrong with society, because the black woman, I'll say it and I'll keep saying it. I say it all the time. The black woman is the most underrated, unprotected like entity in the universe. And this is where black men are idiots, yeah, because they do not stand up for, rate, look after, publicize, big up, protect. They don't do that for the black woman. They'll do it behind closed doors. They'll chat shit in a black woman's ear and say, you know, you're amazing, you're a queen, this and that. Be public about it. Speak out on it then. Speak out on it, because do you know what? Like, this is where the level of respect for black men, it drops. Because if they protected the black woman more and actually embraced her for the queen that she is, and this is no disrespect to any other woman from any other race, but right now it's about black women, innit? If they actually looked after us then and saw us for what we are, then it would be cool, innit? And we'd rate you and respect you more. I think this is why black women are not respecting black men enough. And like they'll say, oh, it is hard to find a decent, like check the word, decent black man. It is not hard to find a black man, a decent black man. So black men need to check themselves big time.
Boy, let me read some of his messages quickly, yeah? We get you to calm down, you know, get the steam off. Mel, eat well, travel often, says 100%. I think going back to what Shiv was saying. Carl says, the world is becoming a very mixed, and I really don't mind that either. It's nice that different cultures and races can do this. Hopefully the world will see sense and get along. DJ Empress says, oh, Brina says, I had to push past it all, talking about having natural hair, wondering if, you know, black men are going to find her attractive. 33 Inkwell says, I feel like a lot of men, all races, are intimidated by the strength of a black woman. Oh, Xenos 247.
Grow some balls. Stop walking around like you're kings, yeah, with fake king energy, yeah, and bring the realness then. Like, how can a black woman, how can you be intimidated by a black woman's strength? If a black woman didn't have the strength that she had, yeah, the world would not be the way that it is. Do you get me? The black woman has carried so much weight on her back, like emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Do you get me? How can you be intimidated by that? You should be uplifting that. You should be embracing that. You should be screaming it from the rooftops and celebrating it. Celebrate the black woman. And like I said, there's nothing against any other race yet. Mixing and all that, it's all amazing, yeah. But right now, this is a topic. We're talking about black women, yeah? Not about being intimidated by black women. Nah, grow some, innit? That's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, I hear that. I think it's true. I think it's true that most people are intimidated. But it's weak, innit? It's weak. But also, for me, because I think it's a two-way street, because I think it's easy to say what's wrong on the other side, but what never happens is people taking that to see what's wrong on the opposite side. Because if black men and black women are not connected, it can't just be black men's fault. It can't just be the fault of black men only. Do you understand? Just for society to connect. That's what I'm saying. So society to connect, it has to, both sides have to be running some type of current. So if we're not connecting, it can't just be black men's fault. Black men can't be the only sole reason for it. I'm not gonna sit here and check out and critique black women because I got too many black women in my life to do them silly things. But but it's not something that could only be one-way street. And in fact, I know it's not a one-way street because I live on both streets. You understand what I'm saying? I live on both streets enough to see, like, no, this is not just a one-sided problem. This problem, there's issues on both sides. There's issues on both sides. And I guess this is the place to have the conversation. So I'm going to make a point this is personal to me. Like, this is something that happened to me, or something that I find has happened to me frequently, especially in the last week or so. And this is specifically with Jamaican or Caribbean women. It's not even a black woman thing, because I don't think that all black women follow the same culture. Like I was saying about black men, everybody's different. Some black men come from this walk of life, some black men come from this walk of life. So I'm not going to say black women. I'm going to narrow it down to Caribbean women, because I feel like African women have a different way of being, especially treating men. They treat men differently. They have a specific way of looking at men and treating men in a certain way. Yeah, that's what I observe. With Caribbean women, it's a battle of who's the most dominant. Yeah, and me as a man, I hate being spoken to harshly. Do you get what I'm saying? I hate being spoken to harshly by a man. I hate being spoken to harshly by a woman. It doesn't matter. My daughter, even my daughter, she speaks to me harshly, I don't like it. You get what I'm saying? So my thing is, Caribbean women, they will talk to you harshly, yeah, and then expect you to be respectful. Do you understand? And for me, that's difficult, even though I understand it, yeah, I get it, because they'll look at you like, but your nan, your mum, cool. But one thing you have to understand is, just because you're Caribbean and I'm Caribbean, don't make you my family. Don't make you my mum, don't make you my nan. Don't mean you can talk to me wicked or talk to me harsh. So now, and this is what I've been dealing with a lot for the last week or so. Like, one being, it was like at work, and I was getting spoken to a bit harsh, and it's a thing where they're like, this is how we talk. This is how we... No, it's not how we talk. You can't just assume that this is how I communicate. And you can't just assume that I'm going to be okay with you communicating with me like this, just because you think that we're from the same culture. You get me? So I do think it's a mentality that both of us have, both sides have, but it's a confrontational thing. So as soon as we see each other, we want to dominate each other. You get what I'm saying? And it's a battle of who's the most dominant, who's been through the most. I've got so much anger on my back. I could bun this place. We both
do you find
we know we're angry. Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you find it's older black women who do that more?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
but that's because there's a bitterness there. But there's a bitterness there. Yeah. That's why they do it.
And you know what it is? You know what I felt? And because they're older than man, because they were like big women to man, in a sense, I kind of felt like, you want to see me fail. Like, you're thinking, raw, what is this little Jamaican, British youth, Jamaican youth thinking that he's going to be the same place or to act like he's on the same level as me? And they want to prove that they're above man, and they want to prove that I ain't, you get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, you lot are older women to man, and you're from the same culture as man, but yet you want to draw man out. You want to prove that I'm not as good as people think I am. Like, and that's what I get a lot when it comes to, like, mainly, like you said, older Caribbean women.
Can I jump?
I get that.
Hold on, let me read some messages first.
Let
me read those messages. Zenos247 says, Sticky don't want that smoke, and Zenos is correct. Shout out to Big Ben, he knows best, I know best. Miss Nam says yes, I'm not sure who she was referring to. Brina says, tell them, chids. Miss Nan says, facts. Carl says, Brina, you need to rock your beautiful hair. DJ Press says, yes, chids. WG Goldley says, but can't you say that about any man? Not sure what point they were referring to, so apologies there. Peely says, caste tends to play a big role in dating from young. The lighter you are and the longer your hair, it determines how attractive you are to a black man, but it can also be the same for men too. Empress says, cis natural hair is a beauty. Brina says, I do cast since 2011. 33 Inkwell says, word, I agree. Brina says, we carry our men and raise the children on top of everything else. Good point. Not reciprocated by too many of our men. WG Goldie says, yes, agreeing with that as well. Brina says, as a black woman, I've had to raise my standards all the way after healing myself.
Yeah.
So he says, so I'm learning, Ash. I beg to differ. We can't submit to the bare minimum. If that. Carl says, I think that women in general will speak that sort of way if you don't listen to them. I think about what Ash was saying. Brina says, I'm a gentle soul with the height of manners, but I've still had the negative experiences the ladies have mentioned. Jesus.
Yeah.
But I'm going to read some more of this in a minute. Can I say something on that? And I actually forgot. No, can I say something on what Ash was saying and what Shiv was saying, right? What you're saying. And I'm going to come to you, Milan. I haven't forgotten. I think Ash made a very good point in what Ash was saying about the older women, right? But my fear is that it starts from quite young. And the reason I say that, I was watching something on YouTube, but what it was, and the guy was going, I think, East London, Stratford, around there. He was going like, like Link Up TV, one of those sort of programs, right? And he was saying, what sort of women do you guys like? And almost all the guys, they're probably all about 14, 15, 16, that sort of age. Almost every single one of them said, we like the lighties, or we want the, or Brazilian. I think they said lighties or Latinos. That was kind of like everyone's kind of response. Pretty much all of them. These were all like pretty much school kids or college kids, right? So although I agree with what Ash said about the older women, but what happens with our younger generation who are in secondary school talking about they want the lighties and the Latinos? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you guys see what I'm trying to say? There's that. How do we not educate those, and in some sense probably educate them, because that's kind of my question. Millie, what are you saying? Talk to me. What are you going to say?
It kind of leads off of what you just said, kind of. So while everyone was talking, I was thinking, obviously, because my part was just absolutely diabolical. But anyway, in my opinion, like, this is literally my opinion, nobody else has to agree with me. I feel like, especially in England, black men and women, black people in England are becoming more westernized or Europeanized. I don't know what the word is, westernized, whatever. Do you know what I mean? So, because like, say you go back home, black men are with black women. Go to Africa, black men are with black women. If you go to like Asia, an Asian man is with an Asian woman. You go, I don't even kind of think of another place, but do you know what I mean? It's the same, it's with the same. Obviously, it's not everybody, and I get that other countries are like a multicultural countries as well, but it's not as mixed up as England. England, literally, every country lives in every city all over England. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not a place, unless you're living in some remote town in the middle of nowhere where there's literally 3 houses that are literally 10 million miles apart. Everyone's got black, white, Asian, Greek, Japanese, like there's a mixture of everything. And I feel like, and we've said this as well on other podcasts and other topics, all other cultures seem to stick together. Black people don't. Not all black people. Like I said, there are people in England, and they're obviously, when you look back at our mums and our dads and uncles and whatever, or even now, like at our age, there were like a lot of my friends, no, not a lot of my friends, a few of my friends go out with the same coloured partner, and whether they're a guy or a girl, and they're happy, they've got kids, or they've got like married, they're buying like a house or whatever. So I'm not talking about everybody, but about the topic that we're talking about, I feel like we're just too westernized, and we're too, especially my age group down, it's I hate to bring it up, but again, it's like it's social media. Because when that wasn't around, when I was in school, black boys were going for black girls. Like, when obviously there was people going for white and whatever, but do you know what I mean? Like, there were loads of black couples that we'd stand outside of McDonald's and ask, and do you know what I mean? It would be like a black boy and a black girl, and they'd stand together, and they was together. As we got older, and the internet was a bigger thing, and all of social media was bigger, and then you've got a load of reality shows with Latinos on, light skins on, white women on, and they're being praised. The black woman or black man has been forgot. Do you know what I mean? Not forgot, but pushed aside, suppressed, and it's like, boom, these are what you should be looking for. If you look onto Instagram, if you go on the page of all the different, so not your actual feed, like the other page, literally scroll on there. Obviously, it depends on what you're having a look at and your like algorithms and stuff, but literally on how many people's phones, if you go on that page, as soon as you open it, you don't see a black woman or a black man. It's every other culture that's there, and I think that's what the issue is. And again, it's like I said, we don't stick together. And it goes on to what you said. When black see black, it's not like a confrontation thing, but it's who's the better person. Do you know what I mean? And it's a competition where everybody, it's not like that for anybody else. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I think the only part I disagree with, I agree with what you're saying, the only part I disagree with is that by England being very multicultural, I don't think it's England. I think it's more to do with just some of the major cities. So London being obviously the capital city is probably one of the most diverse cities in the UK, probably apart from Birmingham, and that's probably about it. After that, I think as Londoners, we assume the UK is like London, isn't it? We assume that the whole country is like that.
Like,
but you go, let's go an hour out of London where you see like no black faces. You wanna find jerk chicken? Forget it. You know what I mean? You barely find a Deliveroo or Uber Eats.
People are moving out of London now.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? So people are moving out, but so even coming from London, you're now moving out. You're not taking your black woman with you, or you're not taking your black man with you. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I think because it's very, like, whatever the word was that I used, it's, do you know what I mean? Everyone's just being forgotten, and I don't know, how do you change that? Do you know what I mean?
Good question. Well, I'm going to read some of his messages, and then Chiz, I think it might be time we get to Ask Billy, because I've realised that we've got 25 minutes left. We spent 35 minutes on this topic. It's like the longest we've ever done on the topic. So there'll be some of his messages, and then we'll probably get into the Ask Billy and our final topic in regards to would you go in with your parents. So let me just read some of his messages quickly. Carl says it's because they've been through so much damn shit in their lives, and they've not going to put up with it from anyone else no more. Okay. Brina says women are forced into masculine energy and survival mode for so long, many can become bitter like that. Oof. The new generation of young black women are a new type of savage. Not all. PD85 says exactly, Sticky. Can you believe it, right? Guys, Peely is a troublemaker and she actually agreed with me. Can you believe it? My Lord.
Leave Peely alone. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. This one says they saw what we've gone through, and they are the product of what they experience. Okay. Carl says I'm with a Latino and they're hard fucking work. Don't do it, people. Fair enough. No comment on that one. Empress says Latinos are in a different world. Cray. Fair enough. What people about those? The Empress says, just asked my 20-year-old brother. He said black girls were hard work and always competing about the way she looks. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. I don't want no smoke. Carl says, but also if you look at black and Asian women, they are bleaching their skin. Not everyone, of course. Is it a social media shit? People are seen to be more desirable by having light skin tone. It's really bad. Says I'm not generalizing, but it's out there, which is a good point. PD says black are also women are stereotyped as being loud and full of drama. Other cultures are seen as easygoing, so they tend not to go for black women. And PD says, thank you, Chids. Bambi says, I'm so late. What's the topic today? Oh my Lord, we're like 40 minutes strong. Brina says, true, Peely. And Brina says, we've long been labelled as hard work. Would you ladies agree that as black women, you've been labelled as hard work?
For a weak black man, yeah.
just had to go there, innit? I ain't gonna lie to you. Right? I've had you guys for the last 40 minutes, and I would say you guys are hard work anyway. But anyway, Chids, Ask Millie. You ready for the Ask Millie?
I am. So
go on. For those who don't know, she's gonna come with an Ask Millie, where we're gonna the clues in the title. We're gonna ask Millie what her views are on a real life scenario. So, Chids, hit them with it.
Okay. So it was on my tablet, but my tablet's dead. There's this woman, and she's met someone, like it's just like a whirlwind romance and whatever. They've fallen deeply in love, and they're getting married. The woman's best friend, who I spoke to, he is in love with her. What he wants to know is, she's getting married in a month's time. Should he tell her that he's in love with her, or should he just allow it? Just let her be happy? what should he do? It's so straightforward. But
you let your best friend spend out how much for her wedding, and then you want to turn around and tell her that you love her? Fuck off. Are you mad? If I had spent, maybe they're having a small wedding, but even so, if I had planned my whole wedding and then you want to tell me a month before, after knowing me for how many years, like, oh, by the way, is it? Is it? I mean, don't do that. Don't do that. No, he should not. I mean, okay, has there ever been a time before where, you know, he's ever got the feeling that she likes him back? Because, I mean, how many years have you known her? If you two haven't connected, I don't mean sexually, but I mean, if you lot haven't, like, do you know what I mean? If there's not been any, like, type of flirty banter and you lot have thought, then why the hell are you just going to fuck up her whole life because you feel left out? Like, go and find your own woman. Why are you watching somebody else's woman live the happiest time of her life? You're going to sit there in the crowd with some sour sack face that you just sucked her underneath someone because she's happy. And it's just going to go to you why? And you're going to be like, well...
You've got no empathy. He's going to be so heartbroken when he sees it, you know, because he's proper, like, it's a thing where he proper, like, loves her off and he's never had the guts to tell her because he just, obviously they've been best friends and he just didn't think that she liked him like that. So he's going to be so heartbroken when he
made himself heartbroken. Babe, you should have took your guts, put your guts in your balls to fill them out, and you should have told her how you felt, but you didn't, and you waited till a month before. No!
Because it's been so quick. He was like, it's just all of a sudden, he's like, Ross, she's met this guy, she ain't known him 2 minutes, and now all of a sudden they've fallen in love and they're saying life's too short, fuck it, let's get married. And he's like, whoa, hold on, I ain't had no time, what's going on?
Didn't have no, he's known if, look what's happening now in, oh God, I'm gonna get it wrong, India, yeah? People are dropping down like flies, life is too damn short. She's found someone that, you're her best friend. So if you don't think it's right, then you don't think it's right. You keep that opinion to yourself and you be there for her like her best friend should. Like, duh. Like, do you know what I mean? Let her get married. If she then gets a divorce in 16 days, then she gets a divorce in 16 days. If she stays with him and they death do us part and they have a bench in a park with their names in it, little hearts and flowers, that's what I want, just telling my future man. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you let them live it out. Like, why would you wait until now? What? Because now you think that she's fully off the market. I hate when guys do that. Why? You'll be single forever, ever, amen. And no man wants to talk to you. They just want to be a friend. They just want to chill. As soon as you get a man, they're like, oh no, but wait, but what about me? Sorry. What do you mean, what about you? No, it's not about you. It's about her happiness. And, oh, no, I don't like that story. No, it's telling no, don't do that. Don't ruin her life.
Yeah, leave her be, man. That's what I said. I said, leave her be.
Like, what you have to think of, what do you value? If you value your friend's shit, she might be the type of girl you might tell her that and she might just go, ha, okay. And then you're still going to be standing there going, no, but I'm being serious. And she's going to be like, okay, but I'm marrying, what's his name? Do you know what I mean? Like, so you're going to be heartbroken and then what? You're going to start acting weird because she doesn't like you. Don't be childish. Or you're going to tell her and she's going to go, oh, well, I like you too. And you're going to go, oh, and then she's either going to say, well, maybe we should try it. Or she's still going to say, I like you too, but I'm getting married to my guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't really see a way out. Keep your mouth shut and smile at the wedding and look nice in pictures. Don't be looking there with a sour, jealous face. Green is not everybody's colour.
Let me some voice message. DJ Empress says, yes, Chids. Carl says, no fucking way to obviously the Arcs Milan topic. Peely says, this sounds like Brown Sugar, which I think is a film, but I don't really remember it. Peely's old, though, and it's probably like a 70s film or something like that. Peely says, ain't gonna end up good. Empress says, jog on, mate. Brina says, exactly, Millie. Carl says, get out of people's happiness and find your own. Pathetic. Like, but harsh, isn't it? Empress says, oh, when he sees it. And she's laughing. Brina says, I'm done. Bambiza says, sounds like something I would do still. Fair enough. Brina says, we need to get Millie on TV. Empress says, I'm finished. Bambiza says, Defo had a few men's wives. Oh, wow. Hope they're not watching. Brina says, in it, Millie, 100%. PD says, so true, Millie. Bambiza says, ruin it, yes. Savage. PD says, real bad timing. Well, I mean, Zenos247 says, it's the audacity of her trying to move on from me. Okay, fair enough. No comment there. PD says, apparently, green is Sticky's colour. Don't get me started, all right? Because green is my colour. I have you know. Yeah, khaki green, I can do it. Don't get me started. But I got a question though, right? You know, you're saying that he shouldn't do so, but isn't that potentially ruining his happiness? Like he has a chance to be happy, express his feelings, to tell her how the woman of his dreams that he loves her. I mean, no.
He's had an ample opportunity, really, innit? Sorry, bro, when you watch this, like, sorry, love you and that. But nah, it's like it's just mad. He's left it. How long have they been friends? They've been best friends for a good 12 years.
12? No.
Sorry. No. He needs to allow it. And it's like, well, now, obviously, because he's just realized, he's like, oh my God, she's actually not going to be around anymore. And I'm like, sometimes I think, do you think it's maybe a thing where what I put to him is that maybe do you think he's just maybe a little bit pissed because she's going to be like unavailable and they're not going to do the bestie things together? But he said, no, when I actually love her, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person. But you've waited all this times long. Leave her.
Why 12
happy.
years?
Just go cry in the car.
Do you know what I mean? Just hold a tear in the toilet and come back out and just, oh my God, yeah, I was crying because I was so excited. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Oh my God. Don't just,
Look, 33 Ink Well says, bad guy, bam bam. Brina says he had plenty of time to talk up. PD says, yeah, plenty of time to talk up. Brina says, 12 years. Empress says he needs to keep his brass mouth shut. Sorry, mate. Fair enough. Empress is a troublemaker if you don't already know, right? Right, guys, we've got less than 50 minutes to go, so I might as well get on to our last topic, our final topic, which is, would you go raving with your parents? I say it again, obviously, pre-lockdown or post-lockdown. Would you go raving with your parents? Now, sure, I'm going to come to you, our favourite guy from Small Island, looking at LL Cool J, doing it well. Would you go raving with your parents?
First of all, Winston, you want luck? Don't come for me, all right? Yeah, of course I'll go raving. Listen, the question is, would my mum go raving with me?
Nah, she'd tell you no. She'd tell you leave.
She'd be like, you're cramping my style.
Sorry, the cousins, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll go raving with her, 100%.
Okay, that's simple enough. And if those of you have not seen Shay on Instagram, make sure you check out Shay on Instagram. She's got all these videos of her doing wine into soca. I don't really do the soca thing, to be fair, but anyway, she's a favourite from Small Island. Ash, would you go raving with your parents?
Do you know why they're laughing like that? They're laughing like that because they know I ain't going nowhere where my mum is drinking, dancing, getting excited.
Long.
My mum's different still. Like,
I'm just going to say, whatever Ashley says, ditto. Yeah? Ditto.
Yeah. Cause your mum's different as well, because them two together, we'll just let our mums go out, fam. Yeah, I'm not on it. I couldn't. I have a hard enough time at family parties with my mum. Yeah. And this is family parties, yeah. So nah, I couldn't go with my mum, not for love or money. My dad, I probably could go raving with my pops. I would like to go raving with my pops,
I would like to go raving
with turn up. You know like that? All right.
He's answered.
He's not watching, He's not watching,
I'll text him when we're done. I'm going to video call him when we're done.
Yeah, no, so my mum definitely not, but my pups, I think I would like to go in with my pups one day, show them how we turn up.
Fair enough. Brina says, yep. Empress says, yep. Bambi says, yeah, my parents are lit. PD says, yes, been with my mum and aunts. Brina says, my parents are a whole vibe, and some dancing emojis. Carl says, I've been out with Javo. Fair enough. Shiv, cuz, would you go?
Mum, just to put some context on it. Yeah,
some context and some sauce on it. Shiv, would you go raving with your parents?
Yeah, in short, I would. I don't imagine that would ever be something that I would ever be invited to, or that they would, or I would ever invite them out. But would going out with them be the worst thing in the world? No. My mum more so than my dad, because my dad would just embarrass me, as you know, really embarrass me. But yeah, in terms of just actually going out with them, yeah, I think I'd go. I think I'd have a good time, as long as it was their kind of rave with their, rare grooves and all that. I think I'd have a nice little time.
That's a good point, Again, whose sort of music is it? Is it their music or our music?
Yeah, if it's their music, allow it. They're just going to moan. My mum's going to moan. It's just not going to work. But their kind of raves, it's like a party, isn't it? It's like going to a christening or a wedding, really. It's not much difference.
And to put a bit of context on that, right? Remember, Shiv's dad is my uncle, okay? So, yeah, that's why we're laughing. Miss Millie Rock, would you go rave with your parents? And then we're going to talk about going to rave where it's our sort of music, not rave groove and lovers rock.
Yeah, no, I've been raving with my mum. My mum's a whole vibe. And do you know why as well? Because my mum don't drink or smoke, and I do. So she's my lift home, 100% all the time. But no, I've been raving with my mum. My mum's a whole... I went carnival with my mum the last time carnival was on. Yeah, like 2 years ago. I went on the Sunday with her and my son. And her and my son was having a great time. I was just looking at them like, but why do you keep dancing? Like, Mum, allow it. But she was just there doing her thing. Like, yeah. My dad... no. So my dad does like he's a DJ. So if he was DJing, I'd go with him because then he wouldn't be on the dance floor, he'd be behind the deck, you know what I mean? If he was gonna be on the floor, he like Shiv said, he would just embarrass my whole life. So no, that's just not. And he's the type of dad to be there and be like, Milan, that's my daughter, come here. I ain't got time for that, that's all long. But Ashley's mum, I've been carnival with Ashley's mum. She's a whole vibe. Sometimes you just have to like let her do her thing and step back a little bit. But she's a whole vibe. But I know why Ashley wouldn't want to go raving with her because
it's different. It's different. Like all my friends, all my people love my mum. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore my mum. Yeah, and she is the best energy, and she lifts me up when I'm feeling down and stuff. But when it's just different. Like I've been out with her and she's like, oh, Chid, I made you to this song. You get me and your dad, you do all kinds of nasty shit to this song. And I'm like, Mum, why have you got to speak like that? But then if she's like, I've been out with her on like listening to our music, like our age music and that, and she's cool. Do you get me? So it's just, I don't know, it's just a bit different, but it's just like, in short, I don't know, it's mad. Depends.
Read some messages. Peely says house, say about house music, because Peely's mum likes house music. And was it Studio One as well? Zenos247 says, my mum likes to think she's cool, so for my entertainment, she can roll through. Peely says, not sure about my dad, he thinks he's too cool. And Peely says, I'm screaming right now, Chids, about what Chids was just saying.
Yeah, my mum's different. If anyone's seen my mum's videos on my Instagram, then yeah, mad still. It's crazy. Love her though. Love you.
She might see this, right? Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, right? Like, share, subscribe, and comment as well. So in short, I think everyone will take their parents' raving with them. But again, to our sort of music though. So could you imagine your parents listening to gigs and I don't know, Movado, Cartel?
Yeah, my mum. Yeah.
Who else are playing these days?
My mum would actually start rapping the tune. All the wrong words, like all the wrong words.
My mum shows me the rap song.
That's what she says.
Yeah, my mum shows me the rap and grime songs.
My mum's a church woman, so we'd get a lot of Jesus. Oh, she would. No. She'd be praying, speaking in tongues, embarrassing me. No.
So if D Block Europe came on, it would be like a no-go, yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't even invite her. There'd be no point. She'd be bringing her, oil to then, take me out of this sin. It just, nah. No.
Burning some sage and all that, yeah? Burn the sage,
Well,
yeah.
no, not the sage. No, not the Christians. No.
No, what they burn? Incense stick, yeah?
Just the Bible.
Straight holy water and Bible, B. Holy water, Bible, and prayer.
You know them ones, yeah. She would not be there for that. No.
Fair enough. PD says your mum sounds like a vibe, Ash. I think PD wants to go carnival with your mum.
She's definitely something. Still, I can't lie. Anyone who knows my mum in here, you know that she's wild and wonderful.
Yeah.
I got wild first.
Very free.
Empress says, enjoy this evening. Thanks, guys, for bringing me back up. So again, that's from DJ Empress. As I always say, right, as I've said it all the time, consistently, we know that DJ Empress likes chicken and dumpling, but she's a troublemaker. She's probably worse than my cousin Shiv, but I'm not sure, I'm not convinced. But Peely, Shiv, Brina, who else is there? They're all just pretty like troublesome anyway, but it's a whole nother story. I was
going to say, keep my name out your mouth, you know.
Well, you, these petitions, right? And these small islanders, anyway, we won't even go there, innit? Because you know what is? You see Chidi, right? Chidi's petition, yeah? Which I didn't know what I meant the other day. And you know what, Chid? I ain't gonna lie to you. What's that program called where you got face the challenges? Oh, what's it called? The Chase. Chase. And the question was, what do they call people from St. Kitts? And petition was on there, and I knew the answer. I was like, oh my days.
Yeah, and then
Chidi's taught me something.
You tried to diss my people, where my grandmother's from. That's what you tried to do.
Yeah, but the small islanders, I win it. It's a small island, isn't it? I mean,
Sticky. You're a small island, Sticky.
No,
You're a small island.
I'm from Great Britain. I got a British passport. It's Burgundy. God save our queen.
You're not so great, Sticky. Please don't.
Empress says was a bit down, so I'm glad she's better. 33 Inkwell says,
lovely Empress.
Play our music to my dad. He's running you ASAP. That's from 33 Inkwell. Xenos 247 says, exactly. Only thing burning is the bush that spoke to Moses.
I'm done.
that was
the bush that spoke to Moses.
I'm done.
Peely says, hush up, Sticky. Again, Peely's another troublemaker. We won't even go there because she's just, on these crazy people. From Pecknam, it's from Peckham, or Pecknam. She's on that gang, stab stuff, you know what I mean? You weren't here last week, but Peely's on that gang, stab, Pecknam's finest, go to raving like this, gun fingers and all that, you know what I mean? So we won't even go there.
What do you mean? I was born in Peckham.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is getting worse and worse. This is getting worse and worse. You people on Peckham, SE15, right? SE15, gang, we won't go there.
Gang all day, bang,
Empress says, just have to keep going and thank Jah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Indeed. Well, guys, look, it's almost that time.
Bless. No man can curse.
No man curse, indeed. It's almost that time. We're almost run out of time. We've got like a minute and a half left. So it's probably good that we probably say our goodbyes, and thank you for all joining and getting involved. Thank you to our guest Shiv for such a challenging topic.
Thank you,
Thanks for having me, guys. I was scared that,
I just can't believe somebody so beautiful, is related to you. Long.
You guys are great.
No, you're great. You're great.
You're great. You're great to be putting up with that as your cousin.
I know, right? I need an award.
I need an award. You're so great. Screwed a lot of you, right?
Come on,
PD says, in fact, PD says the same thing. PD says, watch your mouth, mate. Anyway, PD says, thank you guys as well. But no,
thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone in the comments, man. I appreciate you guys.
Definitely.
I see you, man.
So we're back next week, Wednesday from 10 o'clock. Don't forget, watch it on YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. And we look forward to seeing you all soon or next week. All right. So have a good week, and we'll see you then.
Love always.
Bye-bye.